Welcome back. This is Lee Runs Ultras, and this is week 3 of training for possibly the toughest mountain race in the world, the Dragon's Back Race 2025. Sandwiched in the middle of that is the Epona 100, an absolute beast of a race by Pegasus Ultra Running on June the 21st. It's been another packed week of miles, sweat and recovery runs, and the dreaded elliptical. This week has had its highs, including shockwave therapy that worked some glute magic, and its lows, like missed alarms, the dreaded elliptical sessions that basically had me questioning my sanity. Let's take a look at how the week went, but I'm doing this backwards. First, we're going to cover today's long run. So today was 2.5 hours on the plan, and I was joined by Tom, and I created a route from Maesteg up Cairo Hill, up to the Cape, and then up over the Bwlch, past the windmills, and then drop back down a rocky technical descent back into Cairo. For this run, I filled with Kendall Mint gels. I had 3. A shout out to B&M Bargains for the hydration tablets that I paid 95 pence for. And if you remember, I paid £7.60 for basically the same thing a couple of weeks ago. Slept late this morning, so no breakfast. So it was a quick grenade bar, hydration tablet, and I was out the door to meet Tom. So the run itself ended up being 26.88 with an elevation gain of 634 metres. One thing I will say is the glute tendinopathy. I managed to keep it at bay when I was going uphill by shortening my stride, and I know I can manage it that way. I know if I overstride, that's going to irritate it and probably cause more damage. I know some of you will probably think that I am doing it wrong by still training, but I wholeheartedly believe that movement is key, and if I'm sedentary and I'm sat on the sofa, that's only going to make it worse. If I can manage it myself by altering my stride, altering my pace, then I can still get the volume in. Now, let's rewind to Monday and see how the rest of the week unfolded. Well, Monday was a rest day, and it was well deserved. If you haven't seen the video already, last Sunday I went and completed the Denison round. Tuesday morning I was back to work. I kicked off the day with a 40-minute recovery run. I actually beat the alarm and got this done before work.
Okay, so that is
a beat on the treadmill, which I always set to 1% to
Tuesday.
Keep it realistic. But I kept it chilled.
Tuesday is 7th.
Overall time, 45 minutes, 3 seconds. Distance, 6.13 kilometres or 3.81 miles. For those of you who insist on working on miles, what are you, medieval? People always say to me, why do you work in kilometres? Well, I spent 20 years in the military, and when you're map reading, what do you work in? What's a click? When you're measuring distance on a map, it's all kilometres. They ain't 1 mile squares on a map, they're 1 kilometres. Anyway, enough about the miles or kilometres. Drop in the comments, do you work in miles or do you work in kilometres? Let's start a debate. Once you're there, if you're not already, 86% of the people that watched my last video are not subscribed. I mean, come on, it's free. So the effort was super relaxed on the treadmill, super chilled, with an average heart rate of 106 beats per minute. And I burned 295 calories, which basically meant my Greggs sausage and bacon bat free. Then, after work finished, I headed to the gym for a beast of an elliptical session.
Okay, so that is work done. It's Tuesday. Yeah. Tuesday is 7th. I'm just looking there because I've got the training plan on the wall. I've got 45 minutes run, which I've done this morning. 80 minutes elliptical. Oh, that's going to be a session. 80 minutes, that's 6 times 8 minutes at 9 RP with 1 minute in between each. And then 30 minutes strength session. Oh, my days. Right, let's get to the gym.
Session was 10 minutes warm up, easy, followed by 8 times 6 minutes at 9 out of 10 RPE with 1 minute rest recovery in between each, and then a 10-minute cool down. You wouldn't think that the cross trainer would have you in that such of a state. Oh, it's horrible. Stats, hour and 20 minutes on a cross trainer. Distance, 9.33 kilometres or 5.83 miles. Average heart rate of 148 with a max of 175. Then To top it off, I did a 30-minute strength session, all compound movements, squats, deadlifts, bench press, leg press including single legs, and then I finished it off with pull-ups. Wednesday was a relatively easy day. I only had 40 minutes on the plan, 40 minutes recovery, which I managed to squeeze in after work. I was in a bit of a rush because I had to head to Swansea because I was having shockwave therapy at Core Body Clinic on my glute. I think it's working. My glute feels less painful and a little bit more mobile. I've got another session booked on Tuesday, so I'll keep you posted.
Yes, people, it's Wednesday, week 3, and today is 40 minutes recovery. Just finished work. Yeah, so tonight I've got a what's it called? Shockwave therapy. So that should be interesting because the glute's still giving me a little bit of jip, to be honest. But yeah, 40 minutes easy today, recovery. Yesterday was an absolute burn, I'm not gonna lie. Bit of a rant today, ranty Wednesdays. I've seen on Instagram lately more and more runners like trying to depict that their chosen distance or what they do is harder than anything else. Like, why is everything gotta be harder? Like, I don't get it. Like, stop trying to put other runners down because you think you're better, like as a fallout, because you think your thing is harder. Let me tell you the hardest thing, right? The hardest thing is getting off that sofa. Sometimes I'll sit for 30, 40 minutes and convince myself not to go for a run. It's not about the miles you run on Strava, the pace, elevation, or PBs. Let me tell you, hardest race you'll ever do is from the sofa to the door. So can we please stop making running a competition about what's harder, because there's only one thing that wins all that, and that's consistency. Anyway, let's finish off this run. My arms ache like fuck, and get this shockwave therapy.
Right, okay, so I've been pretty shit actually this week filming my training update. It's Thursday, it's 5 to 5, I'm just outside the gym. I'd done 45-minute run earlier. I had shockwave therapy last night. I'll talk about that a bit later, but now I've got a session, 6 by 1 minute, 2 by 10 minutes, 6 by 1 minute, all with 1 minute recovery, all at 9 RPE. So literally late finishing work because of traffic and the drive home. So let's go and get this done. Thursday was a 45-minute recovery run that didn't really end up being a recovery. Having had the shockwave therapy the night before on Wednesday night, I wanted to test. She had all over Strava, didn't it? Testing the hamstring, testing the ankle, testing the quads. I wanted to test to see how I was feeling and if it had an effect on the glute. So I did slightly push it and it ended up being steady. Now, the run, it felt great. Placebo or not, the pain was almost non-existent. Stats for Thursday: time 45 minutes 13 seconds, distance 9.55 kilometers or 5.94 miles, average pace 4:44 per kilometer, so a decent steady effort with an average heart rate of 146, so that's bang on math for me, and a max of 159 where the heart rate variability was sometimes every time it did increase up, I slowed it down to ensure I was back under that 150. Then I finished work and I was back in the gym for another dreaded elliptical session. I mean, are soul destroyers, but they pay the bills. So the session, 5-minute warm up, 6 times 1 minute at 9 RPE with 1 minute rest in between, and then 3 times 10 minutes at 8 RPE with 1 minute rest in between, followed by another 6 by 1 minute at 9 RPE and a 15-minute cool down. Stats: overall time, hour and 10 minutes. Distance 7.73 kilometers or 4.83 miles. average heart rate of 151 and a max of 177. Now I always find with these 1 minute efforts, it's hard to get your heart rate. I wear the strap. It's hard to get your heart rate really maxed out when you go in for that 1 minute. By the time you've cooled down and then got into the 1 minute, it takes a while to get back up. But that's why the RPE works. So I knew I was working at 9 RPE. Sometimes the HR didn't reflect it because it only go to like 169 or 170. Friday was a triple session and I was determined to get up and get it done before work because I didn't want to do it after work. I wanted to chill out before a big weekend. So I got up, I drove to the gym, parked the car outside, and I went and done an easy 40-minute recovery, 6.5 kilometers. Really, really chilled, really focusing on that recovery pace. After watching the Kenyans do it and how slow they run, I wanted to emulate that. Now, it was freezing out Friday, so I was layered up. But stats for Friday for the run was 6.5 kilometers with an average heart rate of 120 beats per minute. Then I jumped on the elliptical for an easy 45 minutes. Super chilled, kept it really, really easy. Theme of the day, recovery run, recovery elliptical from the session the night before. Average heart rate 119 beats per minute with a total distance of 5.58 kilometers or 3.47 miles. Saturday was an hour steady. Now, I've been really terrible with footage this week in regards to filming the sessions or recording updates. But on Saturday, I done a 10-minute easy, then 40 minutes steady, heart rate between 150 and 155, trying to maintain that. If it spiked over, then I'd slow back down or use tricks by holding deep breaths to bring it back down and regulate my heart rate again for 40 minutes and then 10 minutes easy to finish. Stats for Saturday was 11.44 kilometers in 58 minutes 27 seconds, average pace of 5 minutes 7 per kilometer with an average heart rate of 147 and a max of 159. So that's a wrap for week 3. That's how my week went. Another really strong week. Over 10 hours. Stats for the week. Total distance 90.6 kilometers or 56.3 miles, and that's both elliptical and the running. Training time of 10 hours and 25 minutes with 7,355 calories burnt. I'm not sure if I ate them back. Workouts 11 broken down into 6 runs, 3 elliptical sessions and 2 strength sessions. My Coros weekly training load is showing I hit 1,267 and the recommended range was 308. But hey, no guts, no glory. Guys, if you are enjoying these training updates as I train for the Epona and then the Dragon's Back race, drop a comment down below. Do you use the elliptical or what cross training do you do? Week 4 is going to be another belter with high volume and it's only going to get tougher from here. Remember, run strong, rest well, and I'll see you on the trails.